Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Evolvepreneur Secrets Show for entrepreneurs, and I'm your host, Brian Silverthorne. And as always, my mission is to help entrepreneurs make a difference with their businesses and to help them navigate the often messy worlds of startup, growth, or relaunch. And today we're going to dig deep with our special guest and get you some great concepts and strategies to fast track your business. And our special guest today is Neil Katz. And Neil's an entrepreneur and an executive coach. And like all entrepreneurs, he's working to expand his business. So, welcome to the show, Neil.
Well, Brian, thanks for having me. And I look forward to speaking with you today.
Good. Happy to have you. And I'm interested to find out a little bit more about what you've done. So, let's start. Where are you hanging out right now?
I'm in Dallas, Texas. Been here for quite a few
Are you
years.
near the floods?
We avoided the floods yesterday, but many people did. So hopefully they're all safe and careful and drying out today and having a good recovery.
Yeah, that was a mess. That was a mess. Okay, so let's start with who is your ideal client?
I think, Brian, for me, my ideal client is small to medium-sized companies growing and scaling. And as they grow and scale, we all know one of the components we struggle to fill in is HR. And I am a fractional interim HR leader that helps them build up, and scale out their people functions. So as they scale, we scale with them. So that's my ideal customer, that small to medium-sized market.
Okay, and just personal curiosity, small to medium has a number of definitions from various people I've talked to. Is there a revenue size or an employee size that fits with your category?
Actually, Brian, I will tell you, no, not really. And the reason I say that is I've had companies with 5 employees and I've had companies with 500 employees. So it varies based, it's more employee count than revenue for me, but it's really the organizations that want to build that people structure as they're scaling their business.
Got it. So what's the problem that you solve, the big problem?
I solve the ability to align people's with business strategies. You know, I love entrepreneurs and startup founders. I'm one myself as I launched my business last year. And I bring those components that normally they're focused on a product, a service, and launching that. And as they scale and grow, they start struggling with those people issues and policies, procedures, handbooks, benefits, employee interaction, succession planning, talent planning, those components. And I help them build those structures and processes so they can scale successfully with the people they need to be successful.
So you got some guidance as it relates to employees and how they fit in their job and how well they do their job.
Absolutely. Of course, as always in HR, we'll also help them avoid and minimize any risk or exposure they may have from those components as well.
Right. Well, let's when you're working with an ideal client, what's the symptoms that they have? What's going on within their businesses that cause them to kind of reach out to you for help?
I've had clients reach out that they recognize that they're at 5 people and they need some support with recruiting and sourcing new talent. I have clients reach out when they're looking to build out and build up their business model, and they're at 5 people and they need to scale to 50. And how do you hire that many people and how do you find the right talent? So teaching them how to recruit, onboard, integrate that team, build out a culture. So from that, I work with them to really on those components and supporting those initiatives that they might be hitting a wall on and really supporting them through that journey and the growth and development of that team.
Okay. Sounds like they've got a variety of systems, but they're all people oriented. Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
You're spot on, Brian. Yes.
Okay, great. So we're doing good. We've got 7 minutes left here. So what are the most common mistakes your clients are making? You know, once you get started working with them, they reach out to you and call you in there. What do you discover are the most common mistakes that they're making when you get started with them?
I think and I'm not sure I would use the word mistakes. I think their struggle point is they know how to operationalize a business, how to grow a product, how to market that service or product they have, and they're good at it. And they love it and they're passionate and they know it. But all of a sudden, they need to hire an operations manager, a customer service person, pay somebody, provide them benefits, to build out a culture, to go from 25 to 100 employees in 12 months. they struggle with those points and they don't know how to get over that hurdle. And many times they start hiring friends and family and other people they like and know. And the challenge sometimes is it's not maybe the best talent. And then additionally, helping them devise plans to bring in talent at one level that will scale and grow with the organization as well is a major opportunity for organizations that you might hire an operations manager that could be your next director or VP of operations. So building that structure and process to help them. And then the last thing is just the lack of knowledge and understanding of how to manage employees, how to provide them benefits, how to source vendors from a people perspective is definitely an area we spend a lot of time and focus on.
Yeah, that's a lot of a wide variety of services to help them out. I know one of the analogies that I like about growing businesses is when you get started as a solo entrepreneur, you're wearing every hat, and then it's time to start handing hats out to other people. And a lot of times the people aren't very careful about who they hand the hats to or how well defined the hats are.
Brian, I think you're spot on. And one of the things I like to tell people is this is why, we've had the fractional CFO model for years in many of our industries. And I'm taking that same model and replicating from an HR perspective to provide fractional HR so these businesses can bring somebody in as an expert that knows the human resource people function. And I can provide them services from 5 to 50 hours a month. So I can be that hat that really does have the expert knowledge, but I can support them in the early stages, middle, and growth stages of their organization.
Excellent. I think it's a great business model for a lot of businesses. So if someone's considering reaching out to you for some help, what's one action they could take that will help them out now? It won't solve all their problems, but it could get them off to a good start.
I think the very first thing is reach out to me, find me on my website, my LinkedIn, either one, I'll be there to support you. But I think really start defining what the culture of the organization is. The culture will devise and kind of format what we're trying to achieve. What is that culture the organization is looking for? And as they could start thinking through that, that'll help us map out the journey from where they are going forward.
Okay, great. So you said one thing is to reach out to you. So where can people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, my company website, exceptionalhrsolutions.com. Any one of them, I'm there and available to support them.
Okay, that's easy enough. You've got a lot of social media presence going. So the more
I
hooks,
do.
the more hooks you got in the water, the better the chance of catching a couple of fish, right?
Exactly, Brian. And the reality is we're going to a social media world, and you got to be out there in those different avenues to support our customers wherever they are.
Okay, great. Well, we got a couple of minutes left, and I got a couple of more questions here. So since all entrepreneurs have challenges, even those that are in the 6, 7, and 8 figure area. So what's your biggest challenge being a year into it?
I think my biggest challenge is the growth of the business and expanding and finding new customers. Everyone I talk to, and even Brian, you said it's a great business model, but it's a model that doesn't necessarily exist in human resources. And teaching and educating people of what fractional HR is and how we support your company and how we can support your business is a challenge and will continue to be a challenge, but it's a journey of education and information to help the businesses understand.
Right. Okay. So one more question here, and we're going to be finished up in under 10 minutes. What's one question that I didn't ask that I probably should have?
Brian, that's a great question. I think I would just say, I don't know. I mean, you've done a great job asking a lot of the great questions I would have asked. I think really one of the questions I always get is what's your target industry that you work with or groups of people? And what's great about human resources is we cover all industries, nonprofits, healthcare, retail, fuel, marketing, legal, whatever the industry, there's always a people component, and everything centers around our people. And the businesses that truly put the people at the heart of what they do are the businesses I continue to see to be the most successful.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, but there's oftentimes a belief in the world out there that you have to be some sort of an expert in a particular industry before they will consider taking advantage of your services. Have you ever thought about niching, or are you just going to stay out there as a gent to get started?
You know, I've had that feedback before, Brian, and I will tell you today I would have a hard time niching when I have 7 different companies I work with today across all different industries. And the reality is it's not about the industry, it's about the people. I've learned everything from legal to retail to e-commerce to production manufacturing to nonprofits. And I can tell you, I've learned my business as well. And the reality is it's still all the center around the people of what we do.
Yeah, well, it's good that you have a variety of industry experience and so you can point to it, say, look, I've worked in all these. And I agree with you. It doesn't matter what the jargon is they speak or what the product or service is they offer. Everybody's got people. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. I think that's a great place to stop. That wraps up another great episode of the Evolvepreneur Secrets Show for entrepreneurs with our special guest, Neil Katz. And just before you go, if you like it, please give it a 5-star review and perhaps consider sharing it with a couple of friends so we can spread the word. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any future episodes, go to evolvepreneursecrets.show. And if